5, 4.
Well, welcome back, folks, to our fireside chat. It's great to have you with us here in the African bush. We're really on the cusp of Mother Nature's finest sort of strengths here. There's a thunderstorm over behind us. The sky is beautiful, beautiful blue up against this vegetation. And here we are on Mother's Day. Welcome, buddy.
Yeah.
Good to see you, mate.
Very good to see you. And guys, welcome around the fire. It is, as always with live, been a great adventure this afternoon. And it is a pleasure to be sitting around the fire where everything calms down and stories are shared.
Mother's Day, I tell you what, the job that mothers do, looking after people like us,
it's actually the only job. The rest of it is
to get us to this age has been an incredible thing. And I think all mothers around the world deserve a medal for what you've done on a daily basis. Every single morning that you get up and care for your offspring, right till the close of business every day, where you put your head on the pillow and go, whew, another one done. Fantastic job. So hats off to all of you. You deserve a medal, as I said. My wife, everyone's wives, happy days. Pete.
Happy Mother's Day, first of all. It really is. We've spoken about it this afternoon, but the one thing I realized the last day or two, and I know we all know this, but one thing we all have in common, not just the amazing mothers that are joining us for this, is that we all have a mother. Every single one of us do. And so a big thank you from all the offspring, if you want, to the mothers. But speaking of Mother's Day, the animal that comes to mind for all of us, and certainly for me in this area, whenever I think of any female nurturing character, is Karula, the female leopard that we hope to see tonight, but she went north. We couldn't see her. Karula is just this beautiful cat, amazing female. She's reached or reared many different cubs in this area, of which the two we've been seeing now, Q and Djuma. And I've been very fortunate to have spent quite a bit of time here. We call it the early days of Wild Earth, going back some number of years. And we're going to show you a clip just now that is very close to me in so many ways, because it links another mother into this story as well. And that is now my beautiful wife, Leishan. And just to explain a little bit before you see it, we thought rather than showing all the incredible stories we've got about Karula, we're going to share one story with you essentially. It was back in 2009 in March, sort of mid-late summer, and you're going to hear a little, I was going to say little girl, but you can hear a girl's voice in there, very happy as well. We were loving it. It was an amazing experience. That girl is now my amazing wife, Leishan, and the mother of our two kids, Ragnar and Sydney, who are little. Ragnar's 7 months and Sydney's 3.5. So before I choke up, enjoy this. This is Karula, and a very special memory for me, and we'll talk about it afterwards. Bit of play there. There we go. Oh.
Are you happy?
I can't breathe. I'm not happy. I'm ecstatic. Hey, don't fall, don't fall. Hey! Call the fire brigade. Look at that tail. Look how the tail is working for balance. There we go. Oh.
Oh.
Wait. Climb. I dropped down. It's not that high.
Not
it's
that
got
high.
easily.
Oh.
Oh, look at it.
No.
Mongoose jump for it. Wait. Wow, we've got a bit of thunder as well. That's just great, just to add into the drama of such a fantastic afternoon, guys. And as I said, that is a very special and dear video to me for many reasons, because it includes part of my personal parenting experience as well in history. But as we said, we've seen many of our offspring since then. That was Mission and Duna, which mean Dawn and Chief, by the way, their names. And now the two that we've seen now. But another one, and HT has gotten to know her well, is Shadow.
Yeah, I mean, this is Shadow and her cub. Shadow is one of Karula's daughters, and I hadn't met Shadow before. We heard about this cub that was born 7 months ago when we were here, but no way in the world could we see this cub and Shadow. And 7 months later, I came back onto the reserve, and second leopard I saw was Shadow and her cub, her beautiful little cub. And the other day, I turned up to a sighting, to an encounter that the guys brought me in on, and there was this incredible moment where Karula had a feed, had a successful hunt, and sure enough, just watch this clip. It's beautiful. Shadow was keeping guard over her cub whilst he fed on her successful hunt. Once he had his fill, she took over and had hers. They then had a little lie down, and before they moved on, I witnessed one of the most beautiful, tender sightings I've ever had of a mother and cub. She started to groom him with massive affection, and you could see how much the cub was enjoying it, even to the point that when she stopped, the cub nudged her to continue. That mother and cub bond looked so powerful, I'll never forget it. They then walked off into the bush, a mother protecting her young at all costs. It was truly magic. That was something that I'll never forget. I reckon, I tell you, it was just so beautiful. It's like, you see these leopards and they're like the embodiment of power and strength and beauty and stealth, what I always say. But then there was this incredible tender moment with this cub that I'll never forget, mate. And I met Shadow and her cub, which I'd wanted to do for ages.
I think just seeing a young leopard cub, just seeing two leopard together is phenomenal. And then when it's a little one and a leopard that you know, and you know Karula, I mean, it's one of the first leopards you saw, you know, we've spoken all about it. So you add all those emotional aspects into it, and it is such a privilege to see something like that. And then to get that endearing, you know, to realize that it's not just us humans that can be good friends or caring mothers or, you know, sensitive to others around us. It is something that is in nature.
It's really incredible to see them walk off into the bush together like that. It was like the mother was watching. Oh, it was just fantastic.
Oh, no, it's goosebump stuff. Every single time when you experience something like that, it is goosebump stuff, guys. And the other great thing about sitting on the fire and on such a special day as well, like today, we are going to be answering one or two questions that got sent in from everyone, and just discuss a couple of things sort of surrounding what we just looked at, surrounding motherhood, if you want, and caring and parenting. And we're going to do that just after the break. So make sure you stay with us around the fire, or at least come back in a few minutes.
Absolutely.
And we'll be getting to a few of those questions.
We're also going to do some wild parenting, wild Mother's Day shout-outs as well, which is a really important thing. We've had loads of people send tweets and emails to us, mate, so we'll get through as many as we possibly can.
Do a bunch of those.
We'll see you after the break.
Definitely, guys. See you now.
20 seconds. I'll bring it back in. You can close it, Pete. Okay. After the break, when we come back, we're going to have Steph for that, the next one. Perfect. 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Well, welcome back to the Fireside Chat, folks. This is absolutely spectacular. We've got lightning in the background, we've got questions ready to go, and shout-outs for mums all over the place. So let's get started with those. Happy Mother's Day to everyone.
I think that's a big start.
But some of the shout-outs we've got here. Mark and Madeline in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Please wish our mum Jo in Albuquerque, who turns 91 in 2 weeks. Happy birthday, Jo. That's the first thing. And happy Mother's Day. Incredible. Amazing stuff. We've got Stacey Fox. Happy Mother's Day to my mum Jackie. She has been an avid watcher for years. Fantastic. That's so great to hear.
Jackie, nice to have you here.
There you go, mate. There's a couple for you. Diane there.
Diane in Austin in Texas. That is Diane and Austin, not in Austin, Texas. My mum watches the drives every day. Please wish her happy Mum's Day. That's Dorothy. Dorothy, I've known you for a long time as well. Happy Mother's Day. Meg in Boston. Happiest Mother's Day to my mum Bernie, and a huge thanks for the introducing me to Safari Live. That's beautiful. Thank you very much, guys, and thank you very much to so many mothers and grandmothers that have introduced kids and grandkids and great grandkids to this as well.
3 generations we
love
had
it when there's young people on the drive, as well as obviously the experienced ones. Laura, Alabama. Happy Mother's Day to my amazing mother Barbara Butler, who joins me at her home watching all of these amazing drives. You want to grab one or two there?
Yeah.
John C. Davies, and you take that one.
John C. Davies and Fira, who is 3 years old. Fira wants to wish her mummy Stephanie a happy Mother's Day. So happy Mother's Day, Stephanie. Melissa, happy Mother's Day to my mother, a huge Safari fan. That's brilliant. Serena W., could you say happy Mother's Day to Shannon Woodall when you can? Well, we can, right now. Happy Mother's Day, Sharon. I'll leave the last one for you, big guy.
Mark Ferguson, happy Mother's Day to my mum in Bedford County Nursing Home. Nothing is better than a mother's love. And Mark didn't give you a name, so I think I can happily say that to every single person with you where you're staying. And a big, once again, happy Mother's Day to everyone.
Absolutely.
It's such a pleasure and privilege to be able to do this.
It really is. We've got some also, this is a great little thing for us to have all the information on. So we've got also some questions here. And Pete's going to make a bit of coffee for us. Now I've got a question from James P. Bear in Kansas City. And his question is, what parallels do you see between elephant and man, or elephant and humans, i.e. the raising of their young, caring for the old, etc.? Well, this is very close to my heart, James. It's a question that I was hoping was going to get sent in, because I have this great philosophy, when it's a great philosophy, it's my philosophy, about why we connect with elephants. Now, elephants have a very long gestation period. We as a mammal have a relatively long gestation period. We also look after our young and nurture our young a lot when they're born. We lavish our young with care and tenderness. They stay with us for a very, very long time. They're protected by the family unit as well, very similar to humans. We live to a ripe old age, Pete, like elephants. It's an incredible thing. So
actually very similar ages, even if you look at sort of elephants that live in easier conditions as well compared to elephants living wild.
Absolutely. And the care continues and continues. So those elephant breeding herds are normally a matriarch, related females and their cousins, and they stay together for a very, very long time, unless that female dies, when the next oldest, most experienced will probably join up. But
I think I see lots of well. Sorry to jump in there, but what I didn't say that the oldest and the most experienced. I think that's another great thing with generations that I'm learning now that I've got my own kids. You've got Jack. You know, just once you become part of that family growing, is you realize that there's a lot of knowledge passed on as well. I think that's another great thing, is that you learn such beautiful things from your grandparents and your parents, as well as they teach you things. But the family is such a great thing.
Oh yeah, that family unit, particularly in the elephant herd. So I think that you're right on the money. There is a massive connection with elephants and humans, and I really feel it every time I'm around them, and I know Pete does as well. Here's a question for you, buddy.
It's a nice short question. Oof, maybe a long answer. Peter, oh, this is for me. Sorry, Larry. Larry from the Netherlands. I could almost answer in Afrikaans, Larry. Who makes the better? I can actually read, guys. I promise you, I can read. Okay, let's try that again. Larry, Netherlands, you're asking, who makes the better mother? Lions or leopards? Basically, Larry, who makes the better mother? Lions or leopards? I think the interesting part there, Larry, in that question is that we've got two different structures there. You've got lions living in big groups like we saw today on the drive. You've got leopard that are solitary like we learned yesterday on the drive. And therefore their strategies have to be very different. I think ultimately they both make excellent mothers. In fact, I think all mothers are excellent mothers no matter what the species, because if the species survives, ultimately if procreation happens and the babies are reared and grow, then they're great mothers. So whether you do it in a group where the lions are working together, even as far as going to helping each other suckle their cubs and so on, whether you do it solitary, one mother on the cubs, different strategies, but I think both work excellently in the end.
Yep, absolutely. I think it's a great answer, mate. Folks, this is good. This is exciting. This is what the fire is all about. We really love sitting around the fire, telling stories, and again, a million gazillion shout outs to every mother out there. My mum in Australia, which is not Mother's Day today, but I'll say it anyway, and all the mothers out there, happy Mother's Day. I think I look at my wife, and I said to this on the drive that I didn't really understand the connection that it would be to be a parent and watch the mother of my child connect. And once I've seen that happen, it's quite a beautiful thing. Being a son of a mother is different to being the father of a son watching the mother and the son, or the daughter. It's quite a beautiful thing.
Explaining Karula's family tree.
Well,
but family in the end, and I don't want to go on about family too much, but I'm a young parent, and to be part of a family is such a beautiful, beautiful thing. And ultimately, the mother, in many ways, maybe we're the only animal where the mother is the lead and the father is the lead. It's not like in animals like with elephants and lions where there's a specific structure, but it is such a beautiful thing to be part of. And without the mother's guidance and love and the maternal instinct, that it wouldn't exist.
Exactly.
That family that we know as humans.
Absolutely.
Speaking of mothers, I think we promised perhaps that we're going to name a young cub.
All right then, we'll name the cub. What do you think, mate? I'm going to leave. What do you reckon?
Yeah, might as well. What do you guys? I know a lot of people are very
you see
keen for
that?
this. Yeah, big lightning that side as well.
Fantastic, unbelievable lighting behind us. Should we leave it to after the break? Or you want to do it
What do you
before
guys
the break?
think? We're planning to do it before the break, but
Go on, let's do it before the break.
all right.
I just want to keep you in suspense.
Well, firstly, just that female shadow is absolutely beautiful. And what a beautiful name as well. You know, naming leopards is a big thing,
Yeah.
and it's not taken lightly in Sabi Sands. But H, do you want to give the name away? Let's not tease this on longer than need be.
I think you pronounce it better than I do, mate.
It's a beautiful name. It is pronounced Sindele. And Sindele means survivor, which is the perfect name for Shadow's cub, because that cub is her first cub surviving to that age. And what a lovely name. We're going to talk about that name again after the break. It's coming up soon. After the break, Stefan from The Walk is going to join us, and we're going to talk about a few things amongst ourselves and recall that name again as well.
Absolutely.
See you after the break.
See you now.
Shadow's cub. Yeah.
We keep talking straight to the end, huh?
20 seconds, guys.
We stay on them and we keep talking all the way through to the end.
Quiet, quiet.
He's talking in the ear.
10. Well, welcome back everybody to our Safari Live Fireside Chat, and this is one of the favourite parts for us. This is a bit where we get to sit around the fire and have a little bit of a chat about the story that we have loved in the past week or the past couple of weeks or today. And I find that really, really exciting. But before we carry on, oh, here he is.
Man,
How are you?
Stefan.
All right, mate.
Good.
Hello, big mate.
I made it.
Hello, mate. Well
In the
done.
storm.
Yeah, goodness, it's coming, mate. How are you, buddy?
I'm fine, thanks, and you?
Good. Nice walk.
It was a good walk today. Lots of elephant, lots of buffalo.
Fantastic, mate.
It was nice.
Well, welcome to the fire, mate.
Thank you.
We were just
Yeah.
talking about Shadow, just about to talk to Shadow's Cub, about Shadow's Cub.
Yeah,
as it
the
turned
name
up.
was decided in the end, and we must just explain to him. I'm going to try and do this quickly, but this name might not last permanently. This is, let's say, a wild earth name, something we're going to use for the next while that cub is growing up. Because once that cub disperses, that cub will get a new name in whichever area it settles down. Being a male cub, it might settle down anywhere in the massive surrounding. That was a good lightning, eh?
Yeah,
You see
yeah,
that?
yeah,
It might settle down anywhere in the Kruger area. So that name might change and that cub will leave. But in the interim, we need to refer to it as someone because we're going to get to know that cub very well. That having been said, Sindele, beautiful name.
Lovely name.
This man Shangaan is also quite good. Sindele means survivor, as I'm sure you knew. And what do you think of the name?
I think it's an apt name. You know, leopard cubs have a tough time growing up, and statistics are 8 out of every 10. Sort of, these
Yeah,
two moms
right.
are good,
Yeah.
and they've done their job well. But
Yeah.
it definitely is an apt name for a cub.
Fingers
See what-
crossed.
Shadow and Sindele.
Yeah, see what happens
Fantastic.
when he gets a bit
Speaking
older.
of cubs, speaking of young animals, and certainly speaking of all these bush, and we waited and we preempted, and luckily it happened perfectly at the end. And what you're going to see now is that we caught them as they were coming down to the waterhole, and that for me is always such a special experience. And it was a nice herd, and she was walking down very happy, sort of giving us a little shake of the head greeting, but you can also see they're happy to get down to the water, you know, and that's always great because there's this sort of happy light mood amongst the ellies. And they came down. Of course there were some buffalo at the waterhole because it's dry time, and then they just spread out across the water other side of us. Beautiful setting, lovely light, and that young elephant, and I'm pretty sure it's the same one that actually did that little mock charge with us the other day, and that did some pretty cool things around HD's car as well. Curious little guy. He went for a great mud wallow, proper mud wallow, you know, trunk to tail tip kind of thing, front to back, everything. The adults as well, they were scratching a bit and mud bathing, and just that whole sighting for me, perfect light, anticipating what they're going to be doing and getting the beautiful view afterwards. That was a very enjoyable piece of game drive experience for me. So that was certainly a highlight for me. And
the hyena den. We just popped in there before we came to the fireside, and I turned up there and there was 2 females lying down on after I arrived. Was pretty funny. The hyena pups they'd had a big meal, or the parents had had a big meal, and both the mums were lying there with full bellies. They'd actually had a feed off Q male, the quarantine male, our male that we were watching's kudu kill, and they were just running around, chasing each other. The parents were just lying there, just like so tired. The cubs were running all over them, tripping on them, chasing each other, and then jumping on their mums, and just like you could just see the mums going, "Oh, for goodness sake, will you give it up," you know? And the cubs were like bashing into each other. It just reminded me of, like, you know, parents on the weekend just saying, "Please, can you give me 5 minutes?
family life.
5 minutes. I'm just trying to rest. So I'm trying to digest my Sunday lunch or my Sunday roast." and it was fantastic to see those little cubs running around, having fun, and
tall, trying to make himself look as big as, and he was looking bigger, I promise you. From where I was standing, he was looking very big. But he was looking at us. You could see that he was indecisive about what was there. At that stage, I don't even think that he knew we were there. I think he just heard us, really. And obviously with Scott's backpack on. And then he turned away and he walked back into the bush. You could see his head was up and you could see he was a little bit uncomfortable with everything. But he ended up feeding when he left there, and we carried on with our day. I must be honest, it was an awesome sighting, you know, perfect textbook approach to a big elephant bull, you know. So we had
perfect beginning to end.
A perfect beginning to end, yeah.
that's one of the things that I think when you hear stories like that, that's what safari life's all about. It was really live, and I've got goosebumps even listening to that story, mate.
I love the explanation as well, because that's one of the things I love about elephant. Elephant have this ability to just get bigger and bigger and bigger the closer they get to you. It's literally
under a sky. We probably should start to say goodbye. We've got about a minute and a half to go, and we can talk forever, but I think the first thing I just want to say to everyone involved, every single person. I'm not going to name the names, everyone knows who they are, but particularly the team off site, which was cameraman VM and Brian, the three of us and all the team. Absolutely amazing job, and I've had one of the best times. Absolutely incredible. My wife, Nat Geo Wild, everyone involved, thank you very much.
I've just had such a beautiful experience, and this has just been such a privilege to share this with you. And I know that you two are going to be moving on after this, and I hope to be privileged enough to do it again with you.
Mate,
I've really had a lot of fun, and you'll be seeing me soon.
without you, we would not be here. Big thank you to Nat Geo Wild as well. It's amazing. It's always been one of my dreams to be part of this. And Graham Wallington and the whole team, it's been experience. And I want to echo HT as well there. I want to thank my wife Leishan. I was so happy we could share a little moment earlier. Family support in this means everything. So a fantastic and beautiful happy Mother's Day to all of you. And we're going to be seeing you in Africa again live as soon as we can. Cheers everyone.
So
Nice.